Hello folks, Daryl Smith here from South Dakota. Welcome to another attempt for me making another video. Today's little story is true, and I'm going to call it Fort Pillow. The entire group gathered in front of a big steel door, 4-foot wide steel door, and it opened slowly to one side. We were told to step through. Our forward progress were stopped by another steel door. The first one closed behind us. The second one opened, and we walked into a lounge area, a large room, and there were many prisoners in their prisoner attire lounging about in the room. That door clanging shut behind me only increased my apprehension. Suddenly, a large, strong, black prisoner threw his arm around my neck and tried aggressively to pull me toward the floor. I was only 17 years old, but I was pretty sure my life was over. We had just entered Fort Pillow State Prison. It's on the Mississippi River north of Memphis, Tennessee. And originally, that fort was a log and dirt fort nearby. And it was built by General Gideon Pillow. It was manned by Southern troops for a long time, but during the Civil War, the Northerners were closing in, and so they thought the best thing to do would be to abandon that fort. Northerners took over and manned it for 2 years. Nathan Bedford Forrest, a famous Southern general, was raiding in southern Kentucky and in western Tennessee, and he decided that that fort would be his next objective. He attacked. The fort was manned with 600 people. A good portion of them were freed prisoners who had no military training whatsoever. They almost immediately threw down their guns and surrendered. However, the Southern troops shot them down anyway. There were 600 people there, and only 150 lived. Robert, is that you? The strong young man that was trying to rough me up was an old friend. We had worked together and laughed together on my dad's little farm, and he was a fun, nice guy, easygoing, but some way he had slipped off the straight and narrow and had got himself into prison. I never saw him again after that, and I've often wondered what his life was like. What kind of life did he live? My dad loved baseball and allowed me to get out of field work to go play, and I played on 3 teams. The team that we were playing on, that I was playing on this particular time, was to try our skills against a team that the prison fielded every year. For that team, there were no traveling squad. Due to the backgrounds of the prisoners, all their games were home games. Anyway, we didn't have a chance. They were very skillful compared to us. The field was in the corner of a fenced-in yard, and on the outside there were some bleachers so people could come and watch the game. In left field, the main prison building was out there, and attached to it was a coal bin storage area, coal storage area. And we learned that a lot of home run balls would land right in that coal area. None from our team, and all of them from the prison team. There was one player that was exceptionally good. He had all the skills. We mentioned that to the coach of their team, and he said, "Oh yes," said he's very skilled. He could probably be playing pro ball. He said, however, he'll be 64 when he's released from his prison, so he may be a little old for the pros. We didn't get into a briefing, didn't know what was going to happen after the game. They escorted us through the dining hall where the prisoners were eating. They had a very unappetizing looking meal. It was a big square of what looked like cornbread and a bowl of gourmet soup, who knows. Didn't look very appetizing. We were led into the prison guard room. It was clean, well lighted, and prisoners were dressed in white uniforms, brought us a very good meal. I think I'll just read the last paragraph here. Back home on the farm, the standard for cooking was frying. If it was destined for the dinner table, it was most likely fried first. I loved that food and never dreamed that there was anything different available. That meal at Fort Pillow in prison of steaming hot roast pork and succulent vegetables were beyond my wildest dreams. It may sound strange, but this was an astonishing gourmet delight. Man, was it ever delicious. My wife Glenda and I have been fortunate to have traveled the world. During these travels, we have sampled the foods of many countries and many cultures in many countries. I will always remember that day in prison, since the food opened my mind to things that were beyond anything that I could ever imagine. Thank you very much.